What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I am joined once more by the incredible pirate crew that we have assembled here. Well, really, that Zach has assembled.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we are here once again to talk some One Piece and how much we all just adore it. And we had a video a couple months ago now, I think, on Philip's channel that went through the East Blue saga. And now we're going to go through the next little chunk here. So I think we're going to stop at the end of what is that, Drum Island? Is that
Yep.
correct? That's the name of the
Yep.
thing?
Drum
Yeah.
Island.
So this is what? Um, what's the one right after East Blue? I always forget.
The one Reverse
Rock
Mountain.
Works.
Reverse Mountain. That's what it is. Reverse
Oh,
Yep.
Mountain. So we'll
Yep.
do that, and it's what Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, and then Drum Island to
Yep.
finish off.
And,
So
and honestly, those Whiskey Peak and Little Garden, they're kind of like little mini arcs. They're still important,
yeah,
but they get you to Drum Island, basically.
yes. So I say my vote. I think maybe similar to last time. We do a little bit of spoiler-free stuff, some general thoughts, etc., and then we'll give a big spoiler warning, and then we'll get into the details at that point. So, Zach, since you set this whole thing up, man, why don't we start with some quick spoiler-free thoughts from you on just what this section of the story means to you?
You're just like John and Jacob. You give me way too much credit, but thank you. Yeah, no, this is one of my favorite series of all time. It's right up there. Like you, Jake. I had a lot of One Piece is just something that was really special to me, and like you with Dragon Ball Z, and it's just been one of those things that has been just a great reminder about the power of people and embracing your dream and freedom and all that fun stuff. So yeah.
Of course, I love it. It's huge. It transcends everything, doesn't it? So,
Yes.
so now at this point, now that the due respect has been given, I would be remiss if I didn't go over to our reindeer of the crew here
Our
for
doctor.
his thoughts.
Look.
All that's missing is the blue nose.
Look. I have a whole new favorite character, and I'm sure nobody knows who I'm talking about.
Who could that possibly be?
It's a complete mystery. I have no idea who it could be. I thought this little chunk for me was so great because, I was loving how Dr. Chase calls it his happy place, and it is. You can just come home from a hard day or put down that chunker that really took it out of you, had some heavy themes and heavy things going on, and you can pick up one of these volumes and it kind of changes how you see the world, changes how you see your evening. And it's definitely been that for me. And on top of that, there were some very interesting characterizations and themes and backstories and things building that gave it depth and dimension above and beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought in this little chunk, when we get into spoilers, we'll talk about it more. But for what it did for me was it really opened up some really interesting takes on some, like, kind of a mirror of some social commentary and really interesting moral questions in that realm that I thought maybe I hadn't been done up as well up to this point. And there's some points where really, I think when we get to Drum Island, and we'll get into it, I'm sure, I was like, okay, there's a whole nother gear here that I kind of got in this chunk. And
I love that word, gear. I'm going to bring you back to that at some point.
Yeah, remember that one.
Yeah.
So that was my take on it.
I love it. I love it. Leslie, why don't we do you next?
It's only going to
I'm
get
the
better from here. The
opposite.
fact that you can latch on to those scenes this early on makes me very excited for what's to come as we get deeper in the series.
Totally.
Because we
I
haven't
like
even
to
hit.
start my day reading One Piece because
Yes,
it
so
puts
smart.
me in a good mood. It puts a smile on my face and it gets my attitude right.
Yeah.
And what I loved about this one is the themes that we read about in the first few volumes continue on. What are people's treasures? And how our little Straw Hat crew, they're always looking and learning from the people that they're meeting on their journey. And they're going, okay, so that's what their treasure is. maybe that's the name of what I've been looking for. That's the purpose that I want, and I just didn't know what it was. And
Mhm.
that's just, I'm going, what if people are, I'm over here, okay, I had a bad day, I'm feeling down on myself. But what if somebody's looking at me going, you know what? I love the way she does this. I want to strive to be like that. And so it just gets my attitude right. But I mean, plus I just have a really good time. You're always giggling about what's happening, what's going on, and there's always something to learn, whether you're an adult, whether you're a teenager, whether you're a youngster, whether you're a little one. That's what I love about this series. There's really
That
no age to
Yeah.
it.
I got
That
that.
just triggered
I gotta
something
say
in my
that's
head, but
profound,
it's that
Leslie.
later.
Absolutely. That really
I agree.
that hit me. I really love that.
If I could just add on to that, Leslie, just very briefly, just a little bit about me. I worked at a boys and girls club in my
Ah,
a couple
I did
years
too.
ago, and there was this little girl and we were there doing some activity of like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And people were doing like, oh, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be this, and for whatever reason, she was like, I want to be a Zach. Is what she said, and it was the sweetest, cutest thing, and she gave me like a little gift basket of like just like little knickknacks her and her mom put together for me, and I still have it in my room. But that memory just kind of popped in my head because you never know. You might be having a really bad day yourself, but you never know the power that you have
Your
on
light
somebody and your
shines.
attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's so
anyway, I
true.
apologize. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Just going in the order of my screens here. I think Andrew, you're up next. What do you think?
Well, so this just proves that, One Piece is one of the four anime slash mangas that stayed constant in my life for 20 plus years. It's One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z. Like those are the big heavy hitters for me. Ever since I was a kid. And it was funny because in our last discussion, we were talking about the kind of person that Luffy is. And in this particular section, we figure out what kind of pirate Luffy is going to
Hmm.
be. We already know who he is, but now we get to see what matters to him. We get to see like he's not necessarily looking for. There's specific lines where he just doesn't realize that he's picked up something valuable. He's just like, "You're cool. I want you to come with me. Let's
Yeah.
be friends."
Yeah.
Like, and
Yep.
you get to see what the skull and crossbones means
Hmm.
to specific group sets of pirates,
Yes.
and specifically to the Straw Hats. And it's
Life.
just fantastic. It's
Yeah.
just wonderful.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, just that vibe of freedom. And a lot of animes have that, but I feel One Piece and then Jake, we were talking about Gurren Lagann and the DMs. I feel like those two really epitomize that belief in yourself and
Yeah.
going for your dreams.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And last but not least, Philip, you want to round us out here?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I love what everybody said already. I think this was the part of One Piece where I first realized the importance of the theme of will. And that's a
Mm.
special word. And I don't know what the word in Japanese is, but the word that gets translated in the version I've read anyway is will, which is to
Mhm.
say one's legacy, the imprint that one leaves in the world. And this is something that is explored with such subtlety and beauty and just passion in this series. And I really felt it in this section a lot. It has a little bit to do with John's favorite character. So that's a section where I felt where that character is introduced, where that theme really hit me. And I thought, wow, this is really something special and beautiful. And I love the way this was handled. So that is something that I remember vividly from this particular part of One Piece. The idea of will, and just a heads up for you, John. The others know it already, but pay
Oh, yeah.
attention to that. Pay attention to that word and going
Okay.
forward because it
The
really has huge
phrase has been
reverberations.
introduced
Yeah.
in this section.
Inherited will of D. Yeah. Pay
Will
attention
of
to
D
that.
has been introduced.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
And
that's an
inherited
important,
will.
a very important concept. Just thematically, and going forward, you'll feel it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Man, there was so many amazing things you guys touched on. I love that. I don't really have much to add at all other than
No,
um,
me neither.
one of my favorite things about when you get deep into when there's like a big series like this, right? And you have if it's a say it's a book series, book one is a lot of introduction, and then book two, I want to see that expansion, and I think we get that a lot here. Also, like the East Blue is kind of setting the stage and letting us get to know the world and these like that core set of characters, and obviously we get much more very important characters introduced, but this still felt like it was like, okay, we have our core, and now we just see everything kind of grow, and we get into more of these deeper themes. So they just have more time to explore those now, and we're not talking about Alabasta yet, but like that's where they can really prolong the arc, and we really get into some really deep stuff. And I love that expansion of this. That's one of my favorite things to always look for in like a quote unquote sequel or book two or whatever.
I love what it hit me when Leslie was speaking, and then I think Andrew was saying we get to see what kind of pirate Luffy is, and in this little chunk, it's like we met Luffy, and we know Luffy, and we think going. I think in this chunk we get to see who Luffy is, defined by the rest of the crew. By the rest of the crew, it becomes more important as the crew around him sees him and defines him, and it works for all of them. As
Trust,
loyalty.
loyalty.
As
Yeah.
the characters change as the outward definition from their found family progresses.
Well, and they are a found family because they don't defer really to Luffy. If anything, they just tell him he's an idiot.
There is no hierarchy. That's what I love about it. There is absolutely none. It's just.
But they still acknowledge he's the captain. So he gets the final say. But oftentimes they're just beating Luffy up.
But they will bicker and disagree with Luffy, and when Luffy goes like, "Ooh, let's go over there on that island that's filled with lightning" or what have you, and they'll be like, "No, don't be an idiot." It's just, I love that
they've really become siblings almost. Especially Sanji and Zoro. They've got that brother friction of like Crap Cook and Moss Head.
Me and another moderator on the Talking Story Discord have that kind of relationship, so I relate.
So I think this is also the chunk of the story where I won't spoil anything, but like we have quite the handful of important characters that are introduced, and they don't all seem super important yet, right? But some of them we've gotten to see just how important they are, and one of them wears a big pink hat. And so it might be kind of fun to talk about this person a little bit.
Okay, so are we getting into spoilers now? Is this where or what are we doing?
I kind of vote we get into spoilers just so that we can actually get in here and have some fun. Is that cool with everybody?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So first off, do we want to just skip around, or do we want to kind of start from?
We're going to end up skipping around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Drum Island was like the main course. I mean, I love Laboon. To death.
Laboon is so great.
We should talk about
Laboon. But we have to touch on one thing.
Okay.
Before Laboon, when Hawkeye went and told Shanks that Luffy was a pirate and he had started his journey, and he was like, "We're celebrating."
Yeah.
And when Luffy's hometown saw his wanted poster and how excited they were that he was a criminal, a pirate, where he was starting to achieve his dream, and they're all celebrating. I mean, you just
that Hawkeye Shanks scene was one of the adapted. Like, there's live action of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was perfect.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is why John needs to get Netflix back immediately so he can.
I will.
I will.
I will.
Yeah. Okay. Now we can get to Laboon, who just
Laboon
makes your heart squeeze.
Well, and I can't talk about it because I know future arcs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you could tell that's coming back around, right?
It's going to be that's the thing with Oda. I'll say this, John. There might be something that will happen in like the early things, like Reverse Mountain, and then you'll be like, "Oh, well, that was like just a cute, like little one-shot moment." No, nothing in One Piece is ever just there. Just so it always comes back. It might take 500 chapters, but he will come back to it eventually, and that's what I love about Oda, that there has been all this foreshadowing and just the depths of it. There has been, he has like notebooks of of characters that he outlined and thought of that did not show up in the series for like another decade, before but he had it like all in his head, and it's really incredible.
It really is.
I just love you. Go ahead, Jake. I'm sorry.
Oh, and I was just saying, yeah, it really is incredible the genius of storytelling that he's doing here.
Yeah.
I,
And
so
you
often,
don't see the full. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, so in stories like this, in literature like this, when you're making that crossover, right? When we got to the grand line, we're crossing over. We have to step from one reality into another. Um, Oftentimes it's filled with travails and battles, and you have to earn your spot to get over. And I just love Laboon so much because at this, what do you have to do to cross over is to Luffy has the emotional intelligence to actually understand what it needs is that adversarial challenging push to
Yes.
make it Laboon move on. And
Yeah.
and that's how we slide down and cross over. And it's like I just thought that was so beautiful. I just really, really love that.
Yeah, and also, a lot of criticism that people give Luffy is that like he's just a one-dimensional character. He just is like, oh, he's just laughy, funny rubber guy. No,
No.
if you look, he is learning. Like a perfect example I can think of that is during Drum Island when he's about to like kick the guards' butts, but Vivi was like, no, we can't do it like that. We have to go down this route where we have to pay respect to this and kind of eat some humble pie and bow down to this. But Luffy doesn't fight about it. He just respectfully follows Vivi because he knows that she's right in that moment, and I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Um, as amazing as as great as the Laboon stuff is, I really do want to hear why John loves Chopper so much. I think everybody
Yeah.
loves Chopper, but like you got the outfit on, man. You got
Dude,
like you
come on.
sacrificed your posable
How
finger.
can you not love Chopper
This
though?
is the best character.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tony.
it's the best.
yeah.
It's your best character for now. I can think of a couple that might top it, but we'll see. We'll see.
Here's why I think at the end, and Demadier sent me this lovely set here so we can raise a toast when it's appropriate at the end, just as Chopper did for his mentor. I guess maybe because I have more miles on me, and how Dr. Chase was talking about that will of what you leave behind, and how I've been truly morphed and shaped by mentors in my life. I just think this character and that arc just spoke to me in a really personal way, I guess. But
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
come on, it's a were reindeer. How can that not be and it's a doctor with a pink hat. Like there's just so much to love here.
And that just
Fair.
to say that Luffy is one dimensional, but he always seems to see to the heart of the individual and knows exactly what they need
Yeah.
Yes.
to help them find their true north. Like Chopper needed a friend, somebody to call him friend, including him instead of calling him a monster.
Oh, and
And
I resonate with that so hard. Yes.
I mean, it was just you just cannot not love Luffy.
Yeah.
And when Nami was sick, she 100% trusted that Luffy was going to do what needed to be done.
Yeah. And
But
that's
I mean, we
that's what I
also
love about it.
we also get Vivi stepping up because
Mhm.
she basically comes clean, and the whole crew is just like, your whole kingdom is at risk here, and she says we got to help Nami, and she puts Alabasta on hold for this
Yeah.
crew.
Yeah. Because
And
she's
it kind of
learning what it
shows
takes to
how-
be a leader from the
Yeah.
captain. Yeah.
Yeah.
She also teaches Luffy a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's what I was getting at in my
Vivi's
rambling
amazing.
way. But yeah. It's-
That Luffy, I can't remember if it's in the section that we read this time, but there's a moment where I distinctly remember her kind of scolding Luffy and telling him, "Look, don't rush to fight."
yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was talking about. Yep.
Yeah, that's what you were going to mention, Zach. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I was mentioning. Where they're Luffy is going in Luffy mode, going like, "Oh, we gotta attack and do stuff," and then she literally tells him like, "That is not how a captain should act in this moment," and she literally then shows him what to do in this moment, and then Luffy remembers that, and I really love it because they kind of teach each other something. Luffy kind of shows her some values that she needs in a moment and stuff like that. But we'll get to that a little bit later in a future chat. But I love that dynamic between Luffy and Vivi. I really do. I think they kind of really help the other become a better person each to each other and give something that the other did not have in that moment. So yeah.
Totally. Well, you get that a lot throughout the whole story, right? It's never just the crew learning from somebody they meet. Like it's always mutual in some way, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
We do have to talk about the Giants.
Yes.
Oh, the Giants?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on.
And
Like before we
Usopp,
get completely sidetracked with Drum Island.
yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Because that's a pivotal moment for Usopp.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because he's
definitely.
like, wait a minute, honor is their treasure, which I love that that's still a recurring theme. And he's like, okay, their honor is their treasure. I want to be brave. I want to have honor like that.
I mean, even as far as there's future arcs where I'm pretty sure to even then Usopp references back to
Yes.
this section.
And
he's just like, I still want to go there. I still want to meet these warriors. I want to be like them. This is a character shaping arc for Usopp. Now, granted, massive coward still. But
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got to go.
Hey,
He
you don't
wants to
just
be.
quit being one, that
Yeah.
fast. But he's working on it.
He
bless
stands
his
up
heart.
when the chips are down, and he'll
Yeah,
be
when
a
the chips are
coward
down,
and
he
like,
shows up.
shaking.
I mean, he's
but-
still scared to absolute pieces, but
He
At
still
the same
stands
time,
up.
there's a
That's
kind
what I
of
love.
absurdity to the whole quarrel between these two giants about
Oh,
they can't even remember
Yeah.
why they started it. It turned out to be caught the biggest fish, which
Yeah.
is paralleled, I think, in a really funny way between Zoro and Sanji quarreling about who's going to catch the biggest dinosaur.
I like
dinosaur, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
which I thought was a funny little thing that Oda put in there, that little parallel with them. So there is a kind of a machismo that he's kind of mocking a little bit, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like something silly can start an argument, but it can also be the source of a long time friendship.
Yes.
Have that result.
Beating the crap out of each other by a volcano was their love language.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Since
I
we're
mean,
talking,
isn't that how guys deal with stuff? They just sock each other and they're like, all right, what's out of my system?
no,
We'll be
that is what
friends now."
happened. I've been
No, I
reading
just
Stephen
tagged
Fry's
John
myself.
in like
That is
silly
what
memes on Instagram. That's all I
Yeah,
do.
there you go. That's our love language.
Yeah,
Andrew.
and then Jacob just doesn't answer you at all ever.
But I appreciated that because this is a feud or a conflict that's gone on for
100 years.
100 years, like a century, right? And it's so often these conflicts stem from, what are we really talking about?
Yep.
It's and that's some of that social mirror that I was talking about, of that commentary a little bit that I was talking about that we can extrapolate into our reality. And it really hit me when we got to Drum Island and we got, in a little deeper about is healthcare, should that be for everyone, or should that be just for the people that can afford it, or who should be able to have the benefits of this scientific experimentation that we can fund? Or it was like I was really struck by some of those themes and some of that storytelling. Is like really some actually very topical, deep things there when we hit Drum Island.
I love that you can dive into these themes that early, because I realized that upon like a reread. But when I was first reading Drum Island, I was just like, oh, it's like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and that's about it. That's where my brain is, and it's fun.
Well, I mean, One Piece can be that, but it can also be that deeper exploration of themes.
Yes, I'm just saying. I've given John a massive kudos to
When John,
getting it this early.
John nods, his antlers go like
At the
this.
same time, it's the countdown to, oh my gosh, who's number one? We got to find number one, and it's and it's these magic swords that Zara has. Like, we got to get back to that. Like, it's all the fun
the
stuff
21
too.
swords. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
guess
and
what?
what's cool about Drum Island is it's a nice pause in the Baroque Works arc because it's basically an aside, but it's an important aside
Mhm.
because I mean we've just dealt with Mr. Three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had the introduction and because Vivi gets introduced with Laboon and then just basically is stuck with the crew uh, all the way through to Alabasta.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got, we learn about Baroque Works, we learn about their structure, we learn about Miss All Sunday and Mr. Zero, and
Yeah.
we deal with the guy who picks his nose and like flicks it at you and explodes in your face. And
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the
candle
Baroque
wax scene
Works.
was just
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, the
and
candle wax
guy,
scene was
the
cool.
girl who can
The-
paint colors.
Baroque
Oh,
Works is
yeah,
one of my
I-
favorite
I-
things so
That's
far.
like running around in third grade playground, crazy fun games. And then it's kind of juxtaposed with some of this other stuff. It's really interesting storytelling.
Yeah.
Really
I
interesting.
love the moment in the little garden where, they're all about to get frozen in wax and Zoro just kind of is relying to his fate. Like, well, okay, if I'm
just
going to
gonna
be a
cut my
wax
legs.
statue,
Yeah,
I'm at least going to
pose.
look
Yeah.
cool doing it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I guess I'll cut my legs off. They're like, how are you gonna?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Baroque Works was so fun for me. I don't know if it's just something I always find so fun in stories, just like watching the TV shows I watched growing up and stuff like that. Like it's not uncommon to see this. Like there's these little mini teams of people and they all have their special
Mhm.
power and like their nicknames or whatever, right? And it's just so fun to see the numbers counting down and like the power
Yeah.
scaling with that, to see just how crazy and weird these powers we're going to get. It just seems like everyone's more random and weird than the last. And then like now in hindsight and looking back, and it's like you never really know how important each one of these people are at the time, right? When we're reading this for the first time. And
Yep.
it's just interesting to kind of see where things spiderweb out to.
A couple of them end up being my favorites.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Really?
it's a great
Okay.
series.
Although, of if I had to pick a pair that we've met in Baroque Works that were my favorites at this point, it's got to be the Unluckies. They trip me out.
They're pretty
The
great.
buzzard and the cat looking thing. They're like, is that
Yeah.
an otter?
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
a cat?
My
That's
favorite. Now he isn't interesting. He's been introduced, but my favorite from a certain arc is Bon Clay.
Yeah, I
Of
wasn't gonna
course.
say that one yet.
He's been introduced, so I'll say
yeah.
look forward to Bon Clay because I love
Yeah,
Bon Clay.
Oh yeah, he's a
He,
favorite.
he's great.
Wonderful
Yeah,
character.
he's great. We'll say that.
I mean,
Yeah,
within
so
this
just
arc,
get
he's
in there.
introduced to
Go ahead.
Ace, Bon Clay, Miss All Sunday.
Yeah, Miss All Sunday was great.
Yeah. The we don't really see Ace all that much. We kind of see him at the
Mm-mm.
very end in like a silhouette, but
Yeah,
you're gonna love him, John. Just
there's a
wait.
lot that's introduced here that's
Yeah.
going to inform the next
decade of storytelling.
2, 3,
Yeah,
4 arcs.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's just sequentially there's a lot that that happens that throughout the next decade of the publication. There's a lot of stuff that's getting teed up, and it's great. There is so much stuff. Like there's something in Little Garden that you don't find out until that doesn't come back around until close to
You're upsetting Leslie.
Just wait and
Leslie's
let him
just
find it
putting saying zip it.
organically.
Zip
Yeah.
it. Leslie saying zip it.
okay.
Just let him find. Just let him read it organically. No,
You're
no
right. You're
Easter
right.
eggs, no hints.
we have to respect what Alan wanted. Yes, that is true. But what I do want to say, just going back to Little Garden, one real quick, is just a little fun fact about Oda, and it's that he grew up with like this little anime called I think it's called Vinny the Viking. So it kind of just reminded me of Philip growing up with that Viking comic that he used to love and stuff like
So it's not Viking, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's Gauls and stuff.
Gauls. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, okay, I apologize, but
comics is
I'm
Gauls?
just saying, like, I think that's why Oda put that in there because like, he just has a deep love for Vikings. So I just thought that was a cool thing
Yeah.
that he added.
The
Yeah.
most impactful thing for me in all of this, though, is the cherry blossoms
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
and the beauty of that
moments.
long-term dream coming to reality, that dream of creating something beautiful and wonderful. And that's just something that I can relate to on a lot of different levels, but just as a creative person who's worked a long time on something and bringing it into the world, I did that hit me really hard. That's one of the
Yeah.
tear-inducing moments in One Piece.
That was what Chopper
Very real.
needed for the closure to be able to leave and embark on his own journey
I
to
love that
find his own purpose.
Yeah.
I love that his
That's what-
mentor was like driving him out, basically, kind of like trying to give him that hard love push to be like,
Yeah.
get out. But should she like really be throwing stuff at
Well, I
him?
mean,
No, but
Tony's a teenager, so
I-
I think the thought process is get Tony to rebel.
Yeah.
yeah.
Whereas it's like, no, you get back to work. Well, no, I'm going on an adventure. It's
Yeah.
like,
But
no, you're
she's the
going
one
back
that
to work.
launches
No,
the
I'm
cherry
leaving.
blossoms, and that's what I like about that. And give him no, that's exactly the mentality of what that was. Much like Sanji and Zeth and stuff like that
Yeah.
back at the
Yeah.
restaurant. But like, I love that she has like, she doesn't show it, but I love like when he's leaving, like, she calls him his son, and then there's like a little tear, down her face, and it's sweet. I like that,
Well, Tony was acknowledged as the son of both Hirelurk and
yeah, no, that's what I
Just
love
read it and her
about
name's
Chopper.
escaping.
That's a good point
call
of
her Green.
having that more realistic, rational person in Witch Lady that I'm blanking on the name, and then Harlock, who is much more of the whimsical dreamer, and and then Oda is, and then Chopper is then the inherited will of both of those characters combined, and that's something very beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you so right on, Dr. Chase, and everyone, Zach and everybody. It's like how that hit me, that cherry blossom moment. And why I think Chopper is, that whole, it's all bundled together there for me. But what the beauty that they leave is us, who they've touched, and how we continue to touch others, and that legacy that they leave are all the ripples in the lives they've touched, and how they've shaped and molded us, and how we continue on. And that was just some of that beauty in that moment that just floored me. Just so beautiful when the cherry blossoms finally showed up like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And visually
I
too,
think
some of my
in
favorite
the
art,
manga was colorized.
some of my favorite art in the manga is that section. I found the whole thing just stunning and wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I really love, when I can show people some of the anime, like especially those flashback moments or those core emotional moments, because watching those cherry blossoms and then Chopper just having this ugly cry about it is just a very cathartic, and it's beautiful.
In the live action, they haven't got to that yet, have they?
They will in the
No.
second season, but that's
No, they haven't.
that's what they're going to end on in the second season.
That's
Oh,
what we
that's
were
a
so
great
excited
place to end.
about. Is they had a kind of little teaser a few months ago, and Zach and I were just about to die over the introduction of Chopper.
Yes,
Yeah, and I
they,
tried not
they
to
showed
watch
him
it.
off. And,
Mhm.
You
yeah,
can watch it now.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I don't want to see it.
It doesn't say anything about what's going to happen in the
No,
show
you
at
just
all.
get to
It's just
see
as a character
live action
introduction.
Chopper talk
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and then
Yeah.
he's literally
It's
going like,
completely unique. It's a unique
Yeah.
scene introducing the animation of Tony Chopper.
Yeah, that's all it
and
is.
the
voice
voice
No
actor.
spoilers.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yep, that's all it is.
So,
And-
so John, as far as we've read so far, and all of the emotion, just thinking about all of the emotions that the series has evoked in you so far, all of the moments and the feelings, how happy are you that you were talked into reading this?
Oh, I'm thrilled. I'm completely thrilled. The only thing that gnaws at me at this point is if I should put the brakes on One Piece a little bit to try other manga, because it seems like
No.
I could just open up so many different possibilities, but
That's a slippery slope.
but then I
my
have
friend.
That's a
I
slippery
have a
slope.
night like this with the rest of you, and it's like no way. There's no way I'm going to deviate, because the nights like this are just truly special.
The
I
only
mean,
other one
I
I'm
say
planning to
no
read.
when I know I'm sitting over here looking. I got the first deluxe edition of Trigun that I'm like going,
I mean,
Trigun's so good
I
though.
know, I know.
It's
I'm looking at
so good. That's another
20th
one I grew
Century
up with.
Boys and Berserk and Monster and Death Note and
You
Vinland Saga. It's like I have them
Ah,
all stacked up here.
put
you
Death
will
Note
love
at the
all of
bottom
those
of the
in their own
pile.
way, but
Everybody's
if you
different.
want a happy
Everybody's different,
place.
John, but my experience so far is that I have enjoyed One Piece more and more as I get further and further into it, and I don't need
Yeah.
any other manga. I'm a one manga
Ooh.
guy, I guess, one at a time.
Yep,
I've
I
read
feel you on
five.
that.
I've read five others prior to this, but I don't need anything other than One Piece right now. It's just I'm the series gets so much more even beautiful and deep from here
Hmm.
that I think
That's
you'll
amazing to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, everybody's different. You may find more satisfaction in just trying different things, but for me, I have no regrets about just delving into One Piece.
Yeah. Well, like I
Well,
say,
I'm
I have a night like
so
this, and
happy.
all those little voices go out the window for sure.
I think John would like Naruto though.
Oh, I don't. Maybe we'll see.
Me, I want to dive into
One box
Bleach.
set at a time. He already has two
Oh, I've
One
got
Piece
so
box
much
sets.
stacked up. Yeah, I have so much
One
stacked
box
up.
set at a time. Andrew, what'd you say you want to do Bleach? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because I've only ever watched the anime, and I've recently found out how
Oh,
much the first arc was changed
Uh,
with Rukia. Anyway, I can talk to you about this
yeah.
off camera. This is One Piece.
yeah, yeah.
Kudos to the Soul Sanctuary arc. Anyway,
Yeah.
All right, let's get back on track here.
yes.
With this, I feel like I'm sitting here and I'm thinking back, and it's been quite a while since I read these little arcs myself, and I'm trying to sort of reflect through everything. And a lot of the moments that have stood out to me personally the most, I think we've already kind of hit on, like Laboon and Chopper as a whole, obviously, and the cherry blossoms, and I love the Baroque work stuff,
Yeah.
and the Giants we talked about a little bit, and I just want to. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. So, like, does
There's
anybody
the
else have a big
cross-dressing.
topic?
You know what? I will say that there's always one nitpick that I remember fans always talking about, and it's in Whiskey Peak, which is when Zoro and Luffy fight. And some
Uh,
people really kind of consider that a little bit out of character because Luffy's like, "I'm gonna kill you, Zoro, because they gave us tasty food," and
It's
they're
very in
fighting.
character.
I don't think it was out of character. He
Okay.
just,
Okay, interesting.
He just
just,
wakes up and finds everybody
yeah.
has been beaten up.
and he just, I mean,
He
Luffy's
knows it's
stomach
Zoro.
is almost the most important thing to him.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
He,
That is true. Yep, I can see
he
that.
loves to eat. I mean, I do not fault him. I also love to eat. And I get weak when I am hungry. And when I eat, I'm like, good. And somebody feeds me good. And then if I wake up from a food coma and they've been knocked out, I'm gonna be mad at who knocked them out before I'm asking questions as to why you knocked them out.
I love that line in the dub where Luffy is like, it's from the Whiskey Peak where he's just full and he's just like, "Oh, this is a new feeling. I believe it's called
I
full."
love
It's
the
like,
animation. He's like this big and his lips are all pooped out and his eyes are droopy. And he's like, I need sleep. He just falls over.
yeah, I love just the little moments of Luffy, and that's why I really love when Oda, like, because generally speaking, when he's finishing an arc, there's always a big celebration or a big party, and it
Hmm.
I love that cathartic release of brevity, and I think that's very just true to the heart and core of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
his
just
ability
I,
to.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Jake.
I was just gonna say his ability to like give the readers that feeling of catharsis is almost unmatched, at least in what I've read personally,
Yeah.
novels or otherwise.
Yeah, I love when he does the little joke, and he does it a couple of times with Chopper and the chopsticks up his nose.
Yeah.
And he looks like a
Yeah.
walrus. It's just I
And
like
he has
that.
this goofy humor at the same time. Like, how does he do
Yeah.
this?
No, and that's what I love about it. It's just that how is it this so goofy yet so emotionally gripping at the same time, and you're laughing and crying every other page, and it only gets more like that as the series goes forward.
He
And
knows
I
how to
cannot
keep
wait.
you engaged.
One of
Yes,
his
and
best pacing things is we've got this thing where
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
doing this.
where he tries to dress up as Vivi, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It's a heartfelt moment, and then 2 pages later, it all blows up,
And
and all
Luffy
of a
was like,
sudden,
I like that guy. He's
Yeah.
got weird
you're like, I
hair.
like that guy, and then all of a sudden, like literally, it's all on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get this tonal shift of this is ridiculous. This is a heartfelt goodbye. He's going to go in your place, despite the fact I'm looking nothing like her. I mean, just the height, the brawn, and the hair. It was too much. The lipstick, nice touch though. And
He was like, hey,
then
mister, you look nice.
yeah, right. And then you get this fireball scene, and it's this tonal shift. It's tonal whiplash, but it works.
Mhm.
And Oda's just great at that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So then I think then since we have like about 20 minutes left, if I'm looking at the clock, I think then we need to go to Harlock and his speech that he gives, at the end of Drum Island, that is about basically when does a man die? No, like
Yeah,
I
when
just
he's
I love
rotten.
that speech. Yeah,
Yeah.
and just I think having John or Philip explain it than me, stuttering like Porky the Pig.
I will pass that to the good doctor.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well,
Our
anyone
own
should
doctor
actually,
of the crew.
anyone should feel free to talk about it, really. But it is just an absolutely pivotal, beautiful moment that will have reverberations throughout the series. Because this is what I meant in the beginning when I was talking
Yeah.
about this theme of will and legacy and one's imprint in the world. And it is through, you'll see, John, as you read further, that characters will come and go, and Oda does not kill a lot of characters. There are
No.
a lot of characters. You'll see when we get to Alabasta that he's very reluctant to kill characters, but be prepared for for losses in the future that will be very difficult. And it is a fact, though, that one of the things that comes up is and Herlock is an example of a character we lose really, but he's not lost to the world because Chopper
No,
carries on his
because
legacy.
Chopper, yes.
Chopper carries on his legacy, and that as long as your purpose, your drive lives on, you live on in the world.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And so his dream is there, and it
Mhm.
is being
Mhm.
realized through the people that he has moved and interacted with. So
Yeah.
I just find that to be such a gorgeous, and the symbolism of the cherry blossoms is just so significant in all of this because, yes, of course, culturally, cherry blossoms mean a lot in Japanese culture, I believe, but also just anyone can see that cherry blossoms are ephemeral, right? They
Mhm.
come in at a certain time in the spring. They're beautiful and glorious for a
And
moment,
then gone.
and then they're gone. And
Yeah.
that's us,
And
right?
it's
Yeah,
he
when my
Harlock was going.
husband
Oh, wait,
and I
sorry.
got married, we happened to pick the week that the cherry blossom bloomed
Oh,
in Central
Oh.
Park in New York, and we got
that's so
pictures.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Now I want to see the pictures.
Yeah, me too.
I did not even know cherry blossoms were in New York. That is so
They
cool.
do. They have a
Oh,
few of them in Central Park.
We have
Interesting.
We
a
have them
tree in
here in
our
New Jersey too. Yeah.
we have a tree in our backyard.
Right in
And
my front yard, there's one. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
we
All
have
I
one in
have
the
is
backyard. And for those glorious couple weeks every year,
Yeah.
you look out the window and it looks like it's just snowing.
Jake,
It's
you
just
get palm
swirls.
trees, so you know.
you know what? I will
And pineapple.
very quick
Fresh
tangent
pineapple.
and we'll get back to One Piece. South Florida, people think South Florida is beautiful. It's not. It's not. Okay. Right on the beach, it can be beautiful. Other than that, it's like half dead palm trees and concrete and like
Now,
it's just not
Central
great.
Florida is pretty.
Central Florida is
Come
way
to
better.
Orlando. Come to Orlando,
Yeah.
Jake.
Orlando is way better. Even Tampa's way better. But like
Mhm.
don't go to Miami.
Um,
No,
I've got corn.
no.
Welcome to Indiana.
there you
I grew up in Illinois. I know what's up.
So, Philip, do
Finish
you
up.
think that the Harlech speech, that story, do you think that was Oda kind of gently introducing his theme of will? Because it's really after this that we start getting more and more references to that.
Yes, I do
Yes.
think that he had it in mind. I mean, based on what I've seen about his storytelling, he's thinking of things way out, way out in front of him, and these are things he's planting. These are themes that are, and that's how authors work too.
Yeah.
Even sometimes, sort of subconsciously, there's certain themes that are really important to you, and they may even appear earlier than you realize. They're beginning to appear on page. But I have a feeling that Oda knew exactly what he was doing in this case. But yeah, this is something that I feel like is just set up so beautifully here, and he will continue to explore this in so many ways. This
Oh
is
yeah.
just the beginning of a great, this is the wellspring of something that is going to have lots of ripple effects throughout this series that I just find so well executed.
Mhm.
Can I ask a
I
question on
love
that
that.
note?
Yeah, go
Um,
ahead, Jake.
Honestly, to both John and Philip here as being people who have written a book is like I see now in hindsight, we see so many seeds were planted here in this early part of the story, and it makes me curious how much of it was premeditated from the beginning, and he knew exactly where he was going, and how much of it was just stuff he threw in there. He's like, oh, I'll play with this later, and then it just organically sort of happens. Because I hear other authors mention that they'll just do something, then they don't really know why, and then later they'll make it make sense. So like, I wonder how much of that was there. Is that something that you guys have experienced with, or am I sort of
Oh
crazy?
yeah, yeah.
I know John has because Amy talked about it in one of their live streams. They wrote it was like a throwaway character, and she loved the
Yeah. Oh, that's
character,
right.
and
Yeah,
Jacob and John were like, eh, and she's like went back and she figured out a way to change the story to make that character have to
that's
stay
right.
in there. She's
Great
like, I
character.
fixed it.
Yeah.
Or the parts where John is then reading a scene that Amy and Jacob wrote, and then he's like, "You know what? My favorite part was it was this part," and it's like that didn't even happen, but it happened now because that's really good.
Yeah, I think everyone's different, right, Philip? I think some people plan more and some people, but the weird thing is when that accident happens and it's like I was writing a little bit and it's like we had actually planned for this and I was working on it a little bit this week and just something new hit me. It's like, oh, that's a little top spin on it. We never planned for that, but that's and it almost feels
Yeah.
like it's not yours anymore. It's out of your hands a little bit. It's almost like the story takes over, or you're just listening. It's I think that's when some of the cool stuff happens.
And
Yeah,
I
I would
think
agree
that
with
very
that.
much happened with Oda with the series. It was originally going to take 5 years to make. That was his core
Mhm.
plan, and then it
Mhm.
just
Wow, 5
it
Slow
got
down.
away.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
How long has it been
Well,
going now?
30.
It's
It's getting up
30
there.
Yeah.
something
30.
years.
Yeah.
Close to
But
30.
he is almost done with it.
It
He's gonna
started.
retire.
It's going to take another 5 years. I guarantee you. He never knows when he's done. But yeah, it's
What
I.
one of the
I'm
things that
hoping he needs.
one of
he
the
needs
things that I think
rest.
Oda didn't anticipate was how many people he was going to give devil fruit powers to.
Yeah.
Because when they're first introduced, they're introduced as this really rare thing. And yeah, like outside of the Grand Line, rare. On the Grand Line, not so much.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot.
Uh, you just keep getting introduced to new and new people with new devil fruits.
There, and then, you know, nah, I'll bring it up in a later one. I can see Natalie or Leslie shushing me, but there's a couple things that was like, oh yeah, this is why because this took like 20 years to resolve. Yeah,
Oh, that's so funny.
I
All right. Is there any other big stuff that we missed? I feel like we've
I
covered a lot
mean,
of ground.
we didn't cover, like, we talked about the speech that Hiruluk gives, but directly before that, he is confronted with the palace entourage, and they're like,
Oh,
haha,
yeah.
we tricked you. And he's relieved. He's relieved that it's just a
yes,
trick. He's happy that everybody there is healthy. And it speaks volumes to who Hiruluk has become because he was a pirate.
Mhm.
It's not explicitly stated, but it is
And a pretty
heavily
terrible
implied
doctor.
oh
that
yeah,
he's a
Pretty
bad
terrible
doctor
doctor.
and he gave up a life of crime to come be a doctor for his home island. And I think
You
it
probably
is hinted
shouldn't
at
have.
later that he's never directly named, but there is a character who's mentioned as being a menace to later islands who then just vanished. And
Mhm.
it's implied within the community that it was Hiruluk. Um, But
that since we're talking about Herlock, there's that one part that I want to kind of talk about. How did people react? Because like I get what Herlock was thinking about in the time, but he goes to Chopper saying like, "Hey, I'm never gonna hurt you," and stuff like that. And then you have that part where he takes the gun out and then tries to shoot Chopper. How did people react to that? What was their initial reaction to that? I'm just curious.
I mean, I didn't think
I
he would
didn't take it as
seriously.
he was trying to scare
No.
Chopper. He wasn't
Yeah,
shooting
he
was
at
trying.
Chopper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
felt
Chopper
bad for
knew
him.
that.
Oh
Chopper knew
yeah,
that.
and that's great. I'm saying he's smarter than me because I would have. but uh, but
Also, he just got naked.
that part, yes. But
I mean,
I'll never
just
shoot
the
you.
gun.
I think that also that
It's
great
really
scene
cold.
is like he tried to shoot you, but you're still then I'm going to go on this big journey of getting this mushroom that I think is going to help my friend, and then he'll feel better, and then we can be a family again. And then he gets even more beat up after he just got healed, and he just comes with like this broken ankle, and he's limping, and
It's
like,
like,
oh
yep, you
god,
gotta
it's
heal
horrible.
me. You can't get rid of me. I'm hurt
Yeah.
again.
That's
Yeah,
a big thing that we
I
haven't talked
I
about
really
too
like
much
that.
yet as well. The othering, the being the monster, the
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
another thing that Oda does a lot with. And
yeah.
the idea that you get to know this monster, and you start to feel, oh, wait, I have some connection to this person. And they're a
I
lot like me.
love. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying when you mentioned that, I love that there's a moment where Sanji goes to Chopper, like they kind of put a positive spin on it, like of being a monster. Because Luffy, they're like watching Luffy fight, and Luffy and Oda Chopper's kind of amazed, and he's and Sanji goes like, he's kind of a monster, isn't he? And he's like, huh? Like that's like the first time he thought of that in a positive way, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah, for sure. And this will have further with Chopper's character, pay attention to that idea of monstrosity, John.
The
In terms of
Yeah,
outsider.
the outsider
yeah,
and finding a family. This
Hmm.
is the beautiful moment of found family when Chopper
Hmm.
it becomes one of the Straw Hats
Yeah.
and doesn't feel like that outsider, that monster anymore. He's one of the family, right?
Yeah.
That's
And
just
that's
enough.
such a
And a
superpower of
potential
Luffy's.
backup food source.
Yeah.
yes. And,
Yeah.
I,
And that's
I
such a
I love
superpower of
that.
Luffy
That's a
is
good
to
gag.
see somebody's heart and know, no, you're crew. Well,
Yeah.
you might not know it yet, but you are.
Yeah, and that's what I love too. I love that scene where Chopper's like, "Oh no, I can't leave. I can't go."
Yeah.
And Chopper and Luffy's just like, "Shut up, let's go!"
Yeah.
And then I love, just that iconic scene of Chopper of he knows, Harlock's flag is important to Chopper, so he does everything he can to protect it. And
The
and
skull and
it,
crossbones, it
it
means a lot to him too.
yes, and so
Yeah.
that's him kind of going like, "I respect your dream, Chopper. Come with me, and we'll make our dreams together a reality." And I love that about the series, and it just
It's what
speaks to
family
me on
is.
such a profound way. Yep,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep. That they would
And
support each other and help each other pursue their dreams. That's a
Yeah.
big part of all this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They see
Yeah.
themselves in each other. They see dreamers in each other as opposed to outsiders.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
yeah, and I just, before we end this, I just want to thank you, everyone, for coming along with me on this silly journey, even though, like, I'm probably the smallest YouTuber here, but I plan to, be making more regular content. And I just want to thank you for, taking the invite of this, because I can't tell you how special this is for me.
Oh, it's
Subscriber count, much like bounty numbers, don't really matter.
It does. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, see, I should be the one with the chopper hat, because then he just had like the little 10 berry, on.
I'm gonna get that stitched on a pillow, Andrew.
That is really good. Well,
I
Zach,
love
I think
that.
I speak for everybody when I say that we are all very honored to have been asked to do this.
Oh,
Best crew ever.
This is so much fun to talk about this with you guys, and like reliving the series again. It's so much fun to do this. So thank you.
Jake, when we we're gonna have to maybe try to. I have this idea of maybe me and you doing like a spin-off with just Jacob and trying to get him to watch random anime that we like
That'd be fun.
Gurren Lagann or
Oh, I'm
be
sure
down.
something like
Jacob will
that.
be
I
up for
think it'd be
anime.
fun.
That'd be fun. I'm down.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I just think
All my
we'll talk
anime
about it later.
knowledge is like 90s and 2000s, though.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best anime.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for all of this. I said my closing words. So
Before we
Go
run
ahead.
out of time,
yep.
I have to thank Demadier for this lovely cherry blossom sake set that he sent me for this moment. And I'm going to take the time to.
What kind of drink do you have in there?
This is some fine bourbon, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Not Dr. Pepper?
No, it's fine. It's some fine bourbon, and I just want to take the time to raise a little glass to our mentors, those that went before, those that touched us, those that may not travel with us still, and yet they'll always be with us. All we have to do is look in the mirror to see how they changed, morphed, and shaped us, and now it is beholden upon us to keep their journey alive in others.
Cheers.
And this is
You
why you're
hear that.
Mr. Rogers of YouTube. Thank you, John.
Gonna make me cry.
Yeah.
I know.
Stuff.
He's very good at that.
I've got pictures of those that have passed on my bookshelves. They're just off frame.
Why it hit me so hard when Dr. Chase was talking about it is like it hit me really hard because I spent so much of my life telling myself, and maybe some of you guys will feel this way too, like, oh, I'm not going to grow up to be my dad or my mom or my you know, and now that that it's just me, I take such amazing great comfort when I look in the mirror and see my dad looking back. And it's a true bit of wisdom as you move on, it's
And I'm the opposite. I'm glad I'm nothing like mine.
I am too, but I'm glad that the mentors that I did take, a lot of wisdom
I'm
and
my
love
own
from
mentor.
there with me.
There
Yes,
you go,
exactly.
Leslie.
Believe in the you that believes in yourself, as Gurren Lagann goes. So yes, yes. And that's a little reference for Jake.
Well, you know what, if you just accept Dr. Chase as your mentor, you'll never be sad.
Yes, exactly.
Can't go wrong.
He is
You
the
can't go
greatest
wrong.
among us. Philip, there's this great series called The Good Place, and I think we would have a really great series of just us kind of breaking down the philosophy of it. I think
You'd have to get
that
a
would be fun.
TV.
You'd have to get a
Yeah.
TV and a subscription service.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's TV. I'm sorry. I don't have it. Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe if they do a comic or a manga of it.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
That's okay. One Piece is good enough.
Yep.
Well, I certainly can't top anything that you guys just said, so maybe that's the
either.
note to end on.
Kind of went
yeah.
on a rant.
I'm not
of
going to try and
non-One Piece.
follow A and J Minton.
No way.
Yeah,
No.
I just noticed that.
John, just you know what? Just end where just cut the rest of this out and just end with
Oh,
John
this is
doing
staying.
that toast because I
This is
can't.
staying in.
Guys, I mean, I love these nights so much. I'm picking up volume 18 tomorrow. I'm picking it up tomorrow. Like I can't. These always energize me so much.
We hopefully we can get back a little sooner. If not, that's okay. But I'm just saying, like, we're getting to the point where the series is going to grow, and I can guarantee you about 2 chats from now, we're going to need to have at least 2 hours for.
You'll never
arcs
get
to
me for
come.
2. I'm gonna go ahead and break your heart.
That's okay. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
There's a
Y'all
lot,
have to carry on without me that second hour.
There you go.
It'll be fine.
we
Well,
love you.
let me
buddy.
say
we
here-
love you. No worries.
Let me
Leslie,
say
much
here,
like Joey, doesn't share food, and she doesn't do longer than 1 hour.
Those are good rules to live by, Leslie.
it is.
Yep.
It is. Well, John, Leslie, Zach, Andrew, Philip, thank you so much for joining me here. This has been a
too.
blast. As always, all of your channels will be linked in the description. If you're watching this and you're somehow not subscribed to all these people already, go do it right now, please. And I guess we'll see you next time when we get into the meat of Alabasta. That'll be really fun. So,
All right.
Bye.
bye, everybody.
Bye.